Alright, Khan, Shalom, Shalom, Israel, Shalom to the 12 shout to Yasharala, giving the course, all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh. Bahashim, Shalom, like Yahawashi, that's all praises, honor, glorification unto the Most High God, Yahweh, in the names of the God, Son Yahawashi, this brother Yasharala. Come back to y'all yet another video through the Spirit by Yahweh. Bahashim, Shalom, like Yahawashi. Alright, so I'm gonna get straight into this. Just a quick snack to the Spirit. Let's go to the book of John, chapter 12. I'm sorry, verse 47. It says, "And if any man hear my words and believe not, I judge him not. For I came to not to judge the world, but to save the world." Yeah, exactly. Yahawashi, remember, he didn't come to judge the world. Remember, when he's coming back the second time through the Spirit, he's coming to really judge the world and them that dwell therein. But when he came as Mahashiach Yahawashi in his first ministry, he didn't come to judge the world. He came to save it. All right? And remember, that world is talking about the world of Israel. All right, that's Isaiah 45, verse 17. All right? Israel is known as a world without end that shall receive an everlasting salvation. All right? Verse 48. "He that rejecteth me and receiveth not my words hath one that judgeth him. The word that I have spoken, the same shall judge him in the last day." So the words of Yahweh we're going to be we're going to be judged accordingly. All right, to the words that he has spoken. Verse 49. Right, that's even in so lucky. Revelation chapter 20. Let's go to Revelation 20 real quick. Prove that. All right, Revelation 20 verse 12. It says, all right. Observe verse 11. It says, "And I saw a great white throne, and him that sat on it, from whose face the earth and the heaven fled away, and there was found no place for them." Here's a point. Verse 12. "And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before the Most High, and the books were opened." So the Lord, he's going to open up the books. All right. And that's what the Lord judges you upon. Right. The Torah is going to open up the law. It's going to open up the books. Right. That Yahawashi has spoken. Right. Or the words that Yahawashi has spoken. He's going to judge us accordingly. Right. Did you pray? Did you fast? You know what I'm saying? Did you keep this law? Did you keep that commandment? Right. Etc. And the books were open, and another book was opened, which is the book of life. Right. And the dead were judged out of those things which are written in the books according to the works. So there you have it. We're going to be judged accordingly to the books. Right. And we can see what we're going to be judged about. We can read that in the law, the statutes, the laws, the judgments. We can read about that in the Gospels. What we have to do, what's required of us, what's expounded upon by the apostles and the epistles, right, in the book of Acts and in the prophets, right? Because in 2nd Ezra chapter 2, verse 1, let's get that real quick. 2nd Ezra chapter 2, verse 1, it says, "Then saith the Lord, thus saith the Lord, I brought this people out of bondage, and I gave them my commandments by my servants the prophets, whom they would not hear, but despised my counsels." So I didn't pull it up on the screen. I just read it off my book. But basically the Lord said, right, he gave his commandments by his servants the prophets. All right, so there's even certain commandments that's given to our people in the prophets that we can read. You know, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, Daniel, you know, Nahum, Joel, Obadiah, etc., etc. These are the prophets. All right, so we can also read about that as well. All right, but going back to this in John chapter 12, here's a point though. Verse 49, it says, "For I have not spoken of myself." So Yahawashi said plainly that he has not spoken of himself, right? He didn't come upon the earth to do his own will, to do what he wanted to do, to have 1,000 wives. He didn't come to do that. He didn't come upon the earth to make it big in this society. That's not why he came, right? It says, "For I have not spoken of myself, but the Father which sent me, he gave me a commandment, what I shall say and what I shall speak." So that shows you right then and there, everything that Yahawashi said, the Father is saying, and they are on one accord. Right? That's John chapter 10 and verse 30. It says, "I and my Father are one." Right? It says, "I and my Father are one." So they're on one accord. What the Father says, that's what Yahawashi says. And there's no division between the Father and the Son. All right? There's no division between them. They all speak the same exact thing. So literally, the Father gave Yahawashi a commandment about what he should do and about what he should speak. All right? So Yahawashi, he didn't do his own thing. He literally did the will of his Father. And he says that also in the book of his own, right? Let's get this precept. Let's get this precept real quick. Right, John chapter 7 and verse 18, it says, right, I'm going to start at verse 16. It says, Yahawashi answered them and said, my doctrine is not mine, but his that sent me. So plainly, Yahawashi says that his doctrine, that he's bringing forth to the people is not of his. He didn't come up with it. You know what I'm saying? He didn't just pull it out of his ass. It says, my doctrine is not mine, but his that sent me. So it's the Father's, right? Verse 17. If any man will do his will, he shall know of the doctrine, whether it be of God or whether I speak of myself. So if you do the will of the Most High, and we know that the will of the Most High is what? Or doing the will of the Most High, rather, is keeping the commandments. That's in the book of Psalms chapter 40. All right, let's go to Psalm chapter 40 and verse 8. I delight to do thy will, O my God, yea, thy law is within my heart. So doing the will of the Most High is keeping the law, statutes, commandments. We also know that in the book of Psalms, chapter 100 or 111 and verse 10, it reads, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. A good understanding have all they that do his commandments, his praise endureth forever. So you're going to have a good understanding when you keep the Most High's commandments. So if you do the will of the Lord and be a worshiper of him, pursuant to the book of John, chapter 9, and verse 31, you're going to understand the doctrine of Yahawashi and the doctrine that Yahawashi is bringing forth, whether it be of the Most High or whether he's just speaking out of himself. But he's also going to later expound about what? John chapter 7, verse 18. He that speaketh of himself seeketh his own glory. So if you speak of yourself, you're just seeking your own glory. A lot of people, they just speak of their own selves. Like, they just speak about what they want to talk about. They speak their own words, their own vain opinions. The Lord said that in the book of Sirach, chapter 3, verse 24, that many are deceived by their own vain opinion, and the evil suspicion have overthrown their judgment. So you can't just speak of yourself, right? If you speak of yourself, you want to seek to glorify yourself. You want to seek your own glory, right? But what? But he that seeketh his glory, that sent him, the same is true, and no unrighteousness in him. So Yahawashi said, if you seek the glory of him that sent you, which is talking about the Most High, right? You seek his glory, right? The glory that he's going to give to you, right? If you serve him, guess what? The same is true, and no unrighteousness in him. All right, let's go to the book of, right? Real quick, I want to get this precept. Get this quick precept to link up with that as well. John chapter 12, verse 26, it says, if any man serve me, let him follow me. And where I am, there shall also my servant be. If any man serve me, him will my Father honor. You see that? So if any man serves Yahawashi, that's who the Father's going to honor. And we want that honor from the Father, man. Right? We want that honor. We want that crown, that glory, that dominion. And, you know what I'm saying? The honor that the Lord is going to give unto certain men. We want that honor, right, from the Father. We don't really desire honor from men, right? Just like how when you go to the book of John, chapter 12, and verse 42, it says, nevertheless, among the chief rulers, also many believed on him, but because of the Pharisees, they did not confess him, lest they should be put out of the synagogue, for they loved the praise of men more than the praise of God. And, you know what I'm saying? We shouldn't be like that. We shouldn't love the praise of men more than the praise of the Most High. At the end of the day, we want to hear, well done, thou good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter down to the joy of the Lord, thy Lord. That's the praise of the Most High that we want to hear. The praise of men is only going to last for a little bit. The clapping, the damn applauding, the pats on the back. That's not comparable to the glory and the praise of the Most High, right? So, going back to this, just showing you that Yahawashi, he didn't speak of himself. All the words that he spoke was of the Father, right? He didn't come to do his own will. Right, John chapter 12, verse 50. And I know that his commandment is a life everlasting. Whatsoever I speak, therefore, even as the Father said unto me, so I speak. He didn't speak nothing more and nothing less, right, than what his Father wanted him to say. So with that, all praises to Yahweh. By Shema Mashah, Yahawashi, Lord willing, this is edifying. Brother Yasharala, the water for tuning in. Always appreciate it. Shalom.